Hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. How are you, sir?
Okay, perfect. Oh, you looking so handsome here. Are you into movies?
No, I'm not. Being honored, sir. You have given me time.
अरे नहीं मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा. Like we've been on Facebook since I don't know how much time, but we've not been able to interact.
Yeah.
So I was very happy that you wanted. Okay, let's talk about what exactly we are into.
Yeah,
So
sure.
yes,
Sure.
here I am. Anything? No
Hello,
issues.
dear viewers.
No issues.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we have very special guest with us, and he is Mr. Rajneesh Kumar, Director, Institute of Personality and Aptitude Testing from India. So, sir, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi everyone.
Sir, first of all, I would like to know about yourself and your organization.
Okay, Institute of Personality and Aptitude Testing. We started this organization in 1999, about more than 20 years ago. The organization is basically an outcome of my own life.
Mhm.
I was studying non-medical. I've been a very good student throughout. I've been doing very well academically, and I've been participating in games, be it basketball or dramatics. Good voice, tall guy, so everything beautiful and well sought after personality in college. I realized that I've been doing very well, whether it was studies, whether it was my defense career or everything, but still I was not feeling complete. Something that, yes, I'm made for this.
Mhm. Yes, yes.
I had done my psychology graduation from JNU Delhi also.
Mhm.
So I took some time and then I worked on it. Okay, we need to do something so that we tell the students right in the beginning when they are in their middle school, getting into the high school, etc., selection of subjects and all, what exactly they should go in for. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of people working like me
Mhm.
because I was very intelligent, still I am,
Mhm.
very hardworking, everything beautiful. But if you do not get into something where you have an aptitude for, you will not be enjoying doing that.
Yeah, you are
Aptitude is something
absolutely
like
right.
your innate potential. Anything you have inborn capabilities in you, where it becomes your second nature. Somebody is good in basketball, somebody is good in football, somebody is good in mathematics, but they both may not be good in both the things together. Likewise, so I started off in this, and now I have a team of psychologists. We work for schools and colleges,
That's great.
and this is what we do. We go to the schools, we
That's
conduct
great.
the psychometric test, tell the students what line they should get into, conduct a lot of workshops
Okay, that's
for the
great.
students,
Yeah, I have seen
and
on your wall. So, sir, is it your own organization? Like, is it private limited company or operated
yeah, it
by
is a
government?
private organization. Yeah, it is. I'm the sole proprietor. This is
Okay,
my organization. It has got
okay,
nothing to do with the government.
okay, that's great.
But I take proud in saying that last 20 years, this is what I've been into, and I really enjoy doing this. This is my aptitude.
That's great. So, sir, kindly tell us about what is this aptitude test? Can you please tell us about this test?
Okay, first of all, we got to be very clear. There are number of terminology. Somebody says I'm intelligent, or aptitude, or ability, or achievement, etc. I'll just give you as a layman to understand this. Ability is something you're present. Somebody is able to do something. Somebody has skills to do something. That is the ability part, right? Achievement is this is what you have achieved. This is what you have learned. That is the past thing. Aptitude is basically futuristic.
Mhm.
Something if you get into which for which you have an aptitude, you will be definitely successful in that.
Mhm.
So when we conduct the aptitude test or the psychological test related to this, we can tell that these are the profession this person is going to be very comfortable with, and these are the means vocational as well as educational things. So to predict the future of an individual in vocational as well as educational, aptitude test is the right thing.
Okay, that's great. Sir, I have seen on your wall that you and your team is conducting a lot of sessions. India is so big, so you are covering all India or specific
No,
areas.
no, no, no. Because see, it involves money also. It involves the awareness of the principals, awareness of the teachers, of the parents. When I started off in 99, the first school I went was in, we have a very famous school, Lawrence School of Snar. So that was the place I started off with. So a
In
lot
which
of
city,
schools,
sir? In which city?
Lawrence School of Snar is near Kasauli.
Okay.
It is in Himachal Pradesh.
Okay.
It is a British time school.
Okay.
So likewise, very good schools where people initially maybe thought it, okay, somebody has come to give us a lecture or do something for our children, so let him come. People did not realize its worth. Now is the time people have literally realized its worth. Okay, we should go in for an aptitude test before we really decide what our child should get into. Otherwise, you see what happens in India. About 15 to 16 lakh students every year appear for various engineering entrance exams. 6 to 8 lakh students appear for the medical entrance exams. There are not so many seats. So imagine more than 14 lakh students are told right at the age of 17 and a half to 18 that you're not suitable to be an engineer. It is just because of marks. So it is very important before we put in our money, energy, to guide the student as to what line they should get into. We should not be giving them something where they see a failure right in the beginning of their life. You see, try and imagine a student who's put in 2 years of hard work and finally he doesn't get a seat. So his definition of hard work is gone.
Exactly.
And this is a youth energy. If we do not guide this youth energy as per their aptitude, it is going to be a commotion in the times to come. Because people are ready to work, people are ready to do anything, but they want to get into something where they are very comfortable working.
Okay, that's
so there are
great.
certain mindset.
Okay. So, sir, what do you think? Why career counseling is very important for our young generation?
You see, career counseling, initially when we got independence, both the countries, then of course there was not much need of the career counseling. Everybody knew that if we graduate or learn some skills and we'll get a job and we'll start working. And both the countrymen felt, okay, hard work is the only thing which will take us up. Now the time has come, the population has gone.
Yeah.
It has gone manyfold, right? And secondly, now the generation gap is the present generation doesn't want to waste their efforts. They are of the generation where they say, okay, I'm ready to work hard, but what am I going to get in return? In our time, it was okay. If you work hard, get something. If you don't get something, you're still okay with it. So it is very important that we do not have a disgruntled younger generation. So it is very important that we tell them that, look, you're made for this. Now, the main problem, what we are facing, I'm sure you're facing in Pakistan also, the mindset of the parents.
Yeah, I understand.
You see, the present high school students have their parents born somewhere 1970, around 1970. So that was the age where medical and non-medical was the most important thing. If your child is not into engineering line or a medical line, it means he's nalaik. This is how
exactly.
So a lot of efforts have gone in changing their mindset, which is, of course, it is not easy. But as the time is improving, people are understanding now. And now I see that we are really burdened with a lot of work. Every day and it's not only we work for India, a lot of students, we work in Middle East countries, we work in France, even US, wherever Indian students are there, we work for them. It is online, most of them.
Okay, online.
So when a child attains age of 14 years, that is the right time we should be talking about the aptitude and the career, etc. It is, of course, a little uncomfortable because the moment a child is born, parents uske man mein dalna shuru kar dete ki, okay, you're going to be an engineer or a doctor or something of that sort. It's okay. This is what our culture is all about. But 14 years is the right age when a child has really picked up his study skills. He knows these are the times suitable for my study. These are my study habits. This is how I learn. These are the subjects I'm very comfortable, etc., etc. When you've done with your study related skills, then you should get into the aptitude part of it.
Okay. Sure.
So aptitude test, there are 3 steps. One is the psychometric test. There are 4 factors are taken care of: aptitude, interest, intelligence, and personality. Now, these are the 4 factors which helps a psychologist in ascertaining that this child will be suitable for what in the times to come. So the test will take about 60 minutes to 90 minutes, depending upon the kind of school we are working with, because the schools have a different kind of a students. Their school, they have a different set of students, etc. So depending upon that, so generally takes about 60 to 90 minutes, and then evaluation is done. Some evaluation is done computerized, some evaluation is done manually, and then a report is generated. In report, basically there are 5 things importantly generated. One is which are the various careers in the canvas of this particular student. Means which are the career this student will be very comfortable navigating with, right? Which main career he should pursue. Then what subject he should go in for in her higher or senior secondary classes. And then what else needs to be done, so that in case the student is not doing well in a particular subjects, what needs to be done. And then we go one step ahead also, we get into the family also, and we involve the parents in the whole exercise. So in case there are certain issues, you see, sometimes there is a cold war between the child and the family wants child to do something else, and the child is trying to do something else, and papa ek room mein aur bachcha kisi dusre room mein, kind of a stuff.
Yeah.
So we try and work on that, because we want the whole family to work like a team, so that they see success. And then we also come out with alternatives. Let's say a child has been asked to get into a particular line and he's unable to do it. So what are the alternatives made for that child? So this is how it is. And it is not that once the test is done, report is made, the child is counseled. We stay associated with that child. Let's say we tell a child to get into engineering line and he's unable to make it after his first 2. So what are the other options? And from time to time, if the definition, if the bonding between the parents and the student is not really good, they would definitely need somebody outsider who can tell them what is to be done in case they are not doing well in their studies.
Okay. So, sir, as you talked about Erik Erikson, we have read about Erik Erikson and Jane Piaget. Sir, have you heard about multiple intelligence test?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, what is the main difference between MI theory and this aptitude test? How they're different? I mean,
multiple intelligence. I do not would like to advocate multiple intelligence stuff to be done for the senior classes.
Okay.
Multiple intelligence test, we generally do it for the junior classes. Means
for pre and primary.
Class,
for pre and primary section.
6th, 7th and 8th class, there we do it. So, and I do not use it for my telling the students what line they should get into, because it is very general in nature. What I use this is basically what kind of a hobbies a student should develop. Maybe a child is going to be musical, so sensory aptitude is good, so he should get into something related to music, art, craft, etc. Dramatics, writing, dancing, singing, etc., etc. Somebody is very good in the mechanical part of it, etc. So the multiple is basically gives you a 9 kind of intelligence.
So you are also giving teachers training to different institutes. So
yes,
what do you think that how much teachers training is important for private schools?
I think teachers everywhere, all over the world. I've interacted with a lot of teachers in the European countries also. Yes, I'm very happy in some of the Western countries, the teachers are really taken care of. Whereas in some of the developing countries, the situation is, अगर और कुछ नहीं हो रहा है तो पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन कर लो, बीएड कर लो और टीचर बन जाओ.
बीएड का यहाँ पे भी सर बहुत ज़्यादा है. यहाँ पे भी बीएड का बहुत ट्रेंड है.
Notwithstanding that, if you're taking class of 40 students, one wrong action from your side will mar the future of these 40 students. So our efforts, whenever we conduct these programs, is more into improving their sense of belonging to the teaching profession. I am more into telling them, how can a student of 10 years tell you that I don't want to do mathematics? You see, a teacher has spent 16 years doing mathematics. So we are more into that you got to act as a brand ambassador of your particular subject. Because if you like your subject, if you like being in that school, if you like students, then definitely you will do well. So in every school, there are certain teachers, they are likable by every student, and there are certain teachers, they are the disgruntled ones. They would not like principal telling them anything, and they will always be cribbing. I'm in a wrong school. I should have been US. I should have been deputy commissioner. I should have been this, etc., etc. So it is very important for us to do something about the teachers, because my telling them is, look, if you are not comfortable being a teacher, might as well move out here. Let somebody else come and occupy this chair.
Sure.
Why you want to stay at a place and stay disgruntled? So
Exactly.
this is what we conduct programs. We call it reinventing teaching. Means in our time, the teaching had a different definition. In the present day time, the different definition. You see, in our time, we used to take everything from teacher, how he conducts himself, what he speaks, what he wears, everything we used to take it. Now, students do not take everything from the teachers. They just take that subject part of it.
Okay. Okay. So, sir, what you suggest to our young generation, if you
Two, three things. One is the family has to be very close-knit family. Because if the family is not a very close-knit family, then it's going to be very difficult for you to manage your children when they grow up as a teenager. Generally, problem is the career thing comes when a child is already a teenager. So this thing is that sense of belonging of a child to the family has to be really good when the child is 7 to 12 years of age. This is the age where you should be really close to your child. Because by the time a child is 12 years of age and he steps into 13, you cannot tell him this is right or this is wrong. So this is what I'll suggest is. So if there is a good bonding between the parent and the child for 7 to 12 years of age, then this team can work together. As far as the career is concerned, by the time a child attains 12 years of age, he has to be good in one subject and one skill.
One subject and
Any one subject, one skill. Maybe it can be a game, it can be painting, it can be anything, and this thing. Because it is very important for a child to maintain a good self-esteem, because we never know, we going to see number of failures in the times to come. Secondly, it is very important, we need to tell everybody, like I was studying non-medical, I've been having a fantastic career, then defense services, and then psychology. So it is really not 100% sure that if you're studying a particular subject, lifelong you'll be working as that individual only. No, it is not sacrosanct. So what I suggest is they should be with the open mind and equal distribution of time in terms of they should be enjoying a particular game also, a particular subject also, some hobby also, then relationship also, everything. If we have children, those who are enjoying everything and they're not only forced for the studies, etc., then I think children will do very well. As far as the career part is concerned, it is not only one-time counseling. The career counseling is something like you have to do it every 2-3 months. Sit down with the children, first conduct their test, and then counsel them, put them on a particular line. After 3-4 months, again, maybe change some tests. Because in aptitude, there are a number of things. One is we get to know the general aptitude of a child. Okay, child is particular for this particular line. And then you go into details. Maybe you find him more towards the mechanical part. Maybe you find him more towards the professional part. Yeah. So whatever you find, okay, he is more tuned towards this thing. So in that also, then you have to bifurcate. For example, if you get into commerce, so somebody can be a chartered accountant, somebody can be in banking thing, non-banking thing, maybe a venture capitalist. So this is how the whole thing is coming out. So it is an ongoing process. So I'm very happy when I talk to a lot of counselors in US. Every school has 6 to 7 psychologists working for them. Wow. Whereas I think in other countries, it's not feasible as of now. And I was very happy when one of the parents in US told me that the school doesn't even let us decide the subject for our children. It is the school has taken a decision. We are not even involved in this.
Yeah. We have the same problems of all psychologists and psychiatrists. They are all free. They have no link with this school. And parents are not consulting them. Not asking.
No, there are two problems I like to mention. I'm sure that must be in Pakistan also. You see, psychology, one is a person who's practicing psychology. One is a person who's teaching psychology.
Yeah, different fields.
So a person who's more into teaching academic psychology may not be very comfortable in doing all this. Exactly. Unless somebody is into both the things together. Second thing is, what I have seen in our country also, any dominant uncle, auntie feels that they are right. So and they feel, okay, let me guide this child. Yeah. So there are a lot of dichotomies between samjhana and counseling. Samjhana is basically you already decided that this is what I'm going to tell this child. And in the end, I'm going to tell him, if you don't go as per us, then we are not with you. Yeah. Whereas counseling has a different scientific approach altogether.
Exactly.
Yeah, the Pakistan I'm not aware of, but in our country, I think there is a need for change of curriculum.
The same
because
here.
there are a lot of things. Yeah, a lot of things
We
are
are
being taught.
following very traditional things,
Yes.
outdated curriculum. So we are fighting with the system, with parents, with teachers.
You see, in Western countries, if somebody says, I have attended college, I'm a graduate, so he speaks it with pride. Whereas I see every second person is an engineer or a postgraduate or something. Even in psychology, also, there are a lot of people, they're postgraduate in psychology, but they have no idea about anything. They don't know how to practice, what is to be done. And
Same
then they are
problem
made
we
to
are
go through
facing.
various, then they are made to go through various counseling courses, etc. I'm sorry, it's been given an eyewash treatment. It is something you got to be passionate about.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised so many psychologists have come across, they don't know their own aptitude. They have never done their own aptitude test. They really don't know about it. So if you do not have an aptitude for counseling, you can really make somebody very uncomfortable. That is what it is. And second thing, हमारे दोनों देशों में, I think in Pakistan also, everybody thinks he's a counselor. He's a psychologist. So when I
Same here.
counsel somebody in US, when I counsel somebody in US, he or she listens to me everything, and next day or whenever the second meeting is, they will give me, sir, this is what I've done, this is what I've done. Whereas in our country, you whatever instructions you give to a person, first he is going to really put a lot of filters in understanding okay, why is he asking me to do this? Should I do it? Maybe he'll not come for the second session.
Yeah.
Position was creating.
Sir,
So
everyone
this is
knows
what it is.
everything here. Everyone knows everything here.
Organize.
So, sir, what do you think that after this COVID-19 situation, how do you think that this world will change, especially for this our education sector? Private schools are facing a lot of problems here. They are facing financial issues. Parents are not cooperating with them. Are they same in India?
Yeah, it is same here also. The first thing is I don't know. I'm very positive about what has happened. Of course, the kind of people suffering, the kind of people those who lost their life.
Yeah.
It is really very uncomfortable, and this whole world is suffering because of this. But as a psychologist, on the brighter side, if I see, I think God has no other way of telling human beings what is to be done and what is not to be done. So I think this is an indirect message from his side that look, I've sent you on this earth. I want you to behave in a particular way. You guys have really gone across the limits. So I think we all should put our heads together and understand that message, whatever, maybe through Muslims or Hindu or whatever religion we are into, so that we should really understand what is the message being given to us, and we should incorporate those things in the times to come. I am of the opinion that there are two scenarios. One, maybe after some time things are all right and we go back to the previous way of living. But yes, with lots of precautions, because now people are going to be very uncomfortable dealing with each other the way it has been earlier. And second thing is a lot of definitions, the definition of school, the definition of interactions, the definition of defense. I think things will change. So it is too early. To be very honest, I am enjoying what is happening around, minus people, those who are losing their life, people those who are suffering, their families. Yes, it is a very big price being paid by the whole world.
Yeah.
See, motivation is something like I do not follow anybody, but I know there are a lot of people working in this line. They will create euphoria kind of a thing, get a lot of people, and then make them this it is. I'm, to be very honest, not for this. You see, there are two things I'm not okay with this. One are these books which are self-help books, how to make friends, how to improve your this thing. You see, all these books, if you get into details, you will find that they are very good in telling you that this is not okay with you, this is not okay with you, this is not okay with you. Then they come out with journal things. Okay, this is what you need to do. You see, एक इंसान की वैसी बैंड बजी हुई यार, it is very difficult for that person to follow. So what are you trying to do? You are adding to the list of his already existing failures.
Yes.
एक इंसान ने किताब पढ़ी, उसको लगा कि मेरे बारे में लिखा हुआ है. When he started doing it, he could not do it. तो उसने किताब भी फेंक दी और उसके बाद में उसकी जो desire hai to do well in life, you have really put him back. Similarly, motivation mein, when they go for the motivation thing, वहां से वो tiger बन के आते हैं कि yes, I will do this thing. Yeah, everybody knows these motivation things do not last longer more than 72 hours.
Yes, yes,
Within 72 hours,
100%
if you 72 आवर्स में अगर आपने उसको एग्जीक्यूट नहीं किया तो आप नहीं, और जरूरी नहीं है कि इफ यू इवन स्टार्ट एग्जीक्यूटिंग दैट इन 72 आवर्स यू विल सी सक्सेस, because that person is not going to come if you do not see success in this. These are the alternatives, because if I got to know this, they have been attending so many this thing following. So my sincere request to anybody in case listening to me, a motivational speaker, etc., please get down to the brass tacks level.
Yeah, sir. It's really nice talking to you, and I will be in contact with you.